Shonen or Smorgasbord. I am your host, Purple Wokey, here, joined as always with my co-host, Zen.
Hello, everybody.
How's it going? Man, we're back for another good old episode of the Shonen or Smorgasbord. I'm
Well, it's a
really
very
glad.
special episode too, because they're finally bringing Jujutsu Kaisen to Ore Collection.
Yes, they are. We'll talk about specifically how they're going in there. So, just to let everyone know how we're specifically doing it this month. Usually we do it on a 2 week basis, but this time we decided to go for 1 week because we actually have a full list of characters and it's some pretty interesting characters coming up, and we'll talk about specifically what it looks like they're going to be what they're going to be going for. So let's get right into it. Okay, first of all, let's just quickly. So this was funny because there was an immediate reaction of like you going, "I can't believe they've done this." So they first announced the April Fool's units, which were pretty good. It's specifically they introduced sealed Gojo and Rice Cooker Demon King Piccolo, and introducing a sealed meta of
Which,
characters.
of course, they didn't actually show that actual Jujutsu Kaisen characters were coming at first. So they
No,
were literally just like, oh, the very first entrance to the franchise is Rubik's Cube Gojo.
it was really funny because again we've been doing this for a while. We've been waiting for Jujutsu to show up, and the first the first signal of him is a Rubik's cube. But thankfully, it was very quickly like, okay, yeah, this is April Fool's, and then they quickly showed like I think an hour later they showed the update. Okay, here's everyone that's actually coming, and in the silhouette, that's very clearly actually Gojo in it. So that's one of the characters coming up. So you'll be able to have, I guess, double Gojo action. I'm not sure if you'll be able to use sealed Gojo. Would they have different names like Rubik's Cube Gojo and
I
regular?
guess they would have to, otherwise you couldn't use them together.
That'd be so good. It'd be really. I actually really hope that they actually make Rubik's Cube Gojo just on.
They give him a different Gojo parentheses cube.
Yeah, and just make him as strong as an actual Gojo would end up being. It'd be amazing. So obviously that's coming. We're expecting him to be the big marquee on this, right? There's no way
Oh
that
yeah,
he's not.
it's got to be 100%.
Like
I
I'm
mean,
gonna
there's a
run.
couple other characters in here that are popular and that are pretty hype, but not like Gojo levels of hype. Like that's not
No,
happening.
for sure, and it's probably gonna come off as a shock to some people because this is definitely like a one crazy hell of a list. So let's continue on. Right underneath Gojo, which was what ended up causing a lot of people to be unsure if it was going to end up being just Gojo, we actually finally are having L. He's actually coming into the game for the first time. Now, it seems like it's just. I'm not sure. Well, we actually do know how, because we have Light in the game, and Light has still been a force to be
Light
reckoned
has
with.
never been bad. Like since the game came out, he has
Yeah.
always been good. I guess it's difficult to make a character with 6 hits of invincibility bad.
Yeah, it's really hard to. Turns out he's future proof, just like actual Light is. So we are getting L, so I cannot imagine how specific how I like if I were in my mind if I were going to be building L, I would want him to counter Light. But how do you counter Light without just completely destroying the rest of the game?
I mean, I guess he would have to be like kind of like Yusuke with like a lot of little hits just to pop all the shields, I guess. Because the way you beat Light is basically you just have someone break all of his shields and then your killer kills him. So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess that's what L would have to do, unless they just don't even make him related to Light at all. He might just be his own thing.
The
Actually, you'll
oblivious.
probably end up using them together because they'll just both be on the Cool Head team.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that would actually be really good. So it would be also really annoying if he had also a 6 hit shield stun.
He has 5 shields because L does lose to Light in the series, so he'll have one less shield.
Oh, that'd be really good. Oh man, imagine if they ever started doing the duo card. The first duo I would want is Light and L when they're fucking throwing hands. When, in the with,
I want Tennis Light and L when they're
oh, that'd
playing
be so good.
Prince of Tennis Light and L.
Oh, damn it. All right, so we need them to make multiple cards. They need to do basically what they did for the one slam dunk character who had like all 5 of his stages had different animations. It was like him in his youth, him as a rowdy teenage delinquent, and then him back on the the baseball team. But no, yeah, baseball? No, basketball. I'm dumb. I love slam dunk, and I don't know how the fuck I got that
Yeah,
wrong.
you don't know what sport that is?
Yeah, you know what? It's when you run specifically athletes, it all comes together at a certain point.
They're all just ball players. It doesn't
E-
matter what kind.
Exactly. So yeah, a lot of people, a lot of big Death Note fans were thinking like, "Oh no, it's gonna be L, it's gonna be L," but unfortunately, I think we know it's gonna end up being Gojo as the main dude. I don't know
Oh
if
yeah.
L's gonna be a banner character, like a side unit, or if he's gonna be maybe a PvP reward. I think L's good enough to be a PvP reward in my
He,
eyes, right?
I would. Well, they always make the cool head characters the PvP rewards for some reason, because they
Yeah.
just want the best shit to keep winning. I guess.
Yeah, it's
Um.
true.
So I
So
mean,
many years later, it's Cool Head is still somehow stupid relevant.
yeah, I would imagine he could be a PvP character. There's a couple other on the list that I think could be also, but
Yeah, yeah.
it all feels pretty on the nose at first glance, at
Yeah.
least.
Now let's talk about the next character here. Obviously, this is a fan favorite for many people. I'm surprised it's taken us this long to get a new version of him, but it looks like we're finally getting a actual, hopefully good version of Kuwabara. So,
Which it's funny because we've been talking for ages after I think since Yusuke showed up, and
mhm.
we were like, "Oh, cool! All of them jump awaken now." And then you're like, "No, Kuwabara doesn't." And I was like,
No,
"Oh,"
no.
and he just never got anything.
We thought for sure it was going to be like, okay, a month, Kuwabara. And it was just like, basically, at a certain point, it became a running joke of just like waiting and going, like, okay, this is the month Kuwabara is revealed, and he gets his jump awakening.
And
And
they kept they were pretty close together, the initial ones, because
yeah,
Kurama was actually first, weirdly enough,
yeah,
and
Kurama.
then they cycled over to I think Yusuke was after that, and then Hiei was a little bit after that, and then it was just like radio silence.
Yeah, just like pure radio silence from it.
Kuwabara, nothing.
No respect from him. Unfortunately, it looks like it might not be a jump awakening, but that doesn't mean that he can't still not be
Version
good.
2 is still better than that shitty launch version that we've had for years.
Yeah, for years. Who has somehow avoided getting any form of buffs. Almost every other character has gotten a buff, but Kuwabara. So yeah, version 2, I could see him being a side, either a banner unit, and if they're feeling generous, I could see him being a farmable free. Uh,
See him
inter-
being a farmable. That's possible.
Yeah, and I also feel like his specific element would also kind of. I also hope that this kind of helps be. I would love a supporter for the delinquent. We haven't gotten enough delinquents. I feel. I feel like we get delinquents, but we don't get delinquents that work together very well. Not
Well, that's
since
just that fits the
that,
archetype, doesn't it?
it does, but I was so man when Tyson debuted and he had like the support buffs for delinquent. I really thought they were going to start pushing delinquent. And to be fair, they have raised delinquents, but it's like none of them work together. They all work on separate teams. They're always like a part of another team, like Protag or well, it's mostly Protag actually. Hot
It's
blooded. That's
almost always pro tag, yeah.
yeah. So hopefully he can see some support for there. I would love to run it. I used to run a modified version of it until it just became impossible for me to actually run all the delinquents together. It just became I got overworked every other fight. Still. All right. Now here's a character none of us know because unfortunately Shonen Jump has not translated much of their old stuff over to us, so I'm just going to quickly mention them. We got Mitsuko Yagyu from Harianchi Gakuen. I think it's from like the 70s or the 60s. Really old ass character. I'm always happy for them to introduce old characters because we don't get many of them. I assume because not many people have read them. Shonen Jump is very good at getting you reading from the 80s and then everything below it not very good. Like everything like the pre-time not very good at it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's I don't know, like if they made that old stuff more accessible when they did this kind of thing, I feel like it would make more sense, but
Yeah.
it never is any
And
more accessible.
And speaking about accessible, this goes perfect with the other character we got. Finally, this is another version 2 of Kankichi Ryotsu from Kochiro Katsuki Ku Kamari Koen Ma Huashuitsu. If you may remember that guy who has basically a 2,000 chapter long Shonen Jump. I think he's like the longest running Shonen Jump character at like 2,000 chapters. I remember because I tried to read his manga. And then it's like, okay, we have like chapters 1 through 18 Huge jump to chapter 1927. It was the
That
most like
sounds
from
completely correct for Shonen Jump.
yeah, it was. It was a shame too because this is another dude who always shows up. If you don't know who this guy is by name, it's the weird eyebrow guy. He's the weird eyebrow policeman that always shows up in like Shonen Jump
Yeah, like
stuff in
the
general.
frumpy cop that wears sandals.
Yeah, he was missing from Jump Force because Jump Force isn't good. Oh, but if he was in Jump Force though, could you imagine that small eyebrow wearing man with a handgun
I
shooting
assume he's
it?
not. They didn't put him in Jump Force, I guess, because he's just not like realistically proportioned. I assume
Yeah, and I think it's also
because that
probably
game
not
had this
cool.
weird insistence that it's going to be in the real world. It was the dumbest idea.
Yeah, it was an extremely dumb idea.
It was not a good idea.
It's a good thing we have good Shonen Jump mobile games such as Ore Collection and Junpei Heroes, who can live coexcitingly next to each other.
Yep. No competition. No need
Exactly.
for it.
No need for it. So yeah, those two are coming. I am always a fan of the older dudes because they always put the most effort they can into the old manga pages. So it's always really interesting to see what they do. But also, I guess some people aren't the biggest fan of the old manga art because sometimes it can be a little bit inconsistent.
It's a
But
little fried. Yeah.
yeah, a little.
It's a little fried.
But I love it regardless. All right. This next one I think is going to be pretty obvious. I think this is going to be the raid event. It's going to be it's looking like Orochimaru from Naruto. From I assume the original one. I don't know if he's still in Boruto. I don't think we have any characters from
He's
Boruto.
not a
So
bad guy in Boruto, and I
is
would be
he?
very surprised if Orochimaru was the first Boruto character they put in anyway.
Yeah, that'd be really strange. Out of all of them.
I would imagine he was probably pre time skip.
Oh, so we're getting like good Orochimaru before like he became this
Yeah, before he
weird
became terrible.
snake jobber. This
Yeah,
weird.
before he became the weird snake jobber who just gets tossed all the time.
Oh man, this it's good too because I love this version of Orochimaru. That's the like weird, creepy Orochimaru, the one who like
Back
had the
when he was actually
body.
dangerous instead of like the character that everyone beat up on to show how strong
Yeah,
they were.
back when he would take people's bodies and rip off their skin and go like, "Wow, it's me, Orochimaru."
It was me the whole time in here.
Fool, it was me,
Idiot.
Orochimaru. Oh man, and I really hope that his first ascension is that ninja he was disguising as in the
The sound ninja from the
yeah
Forest of Death.
from the
Yeah,
Forest of Death. That
need
one, the
that
one that's like
immediately.
instantly creepy. The one
He
where
was creepier looking like that guy than he is looking like the Snake Man, to be
yeah,
honest.
I've always had a problem with Anko specifically not going like, this reminds me a lot of Orochimaru. The immediate just like,
This person I know and hate and am obsessed with.
acting a little bit sus to be honest, but you know what? I'm gonna allow it. These kids are growing up after all. This is what
It's a lot of
Anko
hormones going on. It's no need to get crazy about it.
exactly. When I was a kid, I also liked licking blood. It was my thing. That's why I wear this mesh tank top. Oh, God, I wish they had Anko
That's
in this game too.
always, I know. It's the mesh tank top, man. I'm telling you, that's why they won't
I
put her
know.
in.
I know. God damn it, they should. The original mesh tank top Anko is where I learned a lot of things when I was a kid. Because I remember reading it in Shonen Jump and going, that is an insane thing she is wearing. I love this woman. And that's why pre-time skip Naruto will always have a special place in my heart. But yeah, Orochimaru, I could totally see him being he's the raid. He's the only one on here who's actually a villain. You could kind of, I guess, say L is a villain, but not.
Like contextually, maybe, but
Yeah.
not to the same level.
Not to the same level. It'd be cool to see what kind of thing he ends up buffing. I maybe they would introduce something new for like weird transforming Snake Man. I would love it. There's
I'm
plenty
still
of
worried they're
transformation
just
dudes.
gonna make him cool head too.
Yeah, you're probably right. Damn it. At this point,
I'm jaded with it, man. I'm cynical about it. It's always cool head that gets shit.
I'm just saying right now, if Eyebrow Cop makes it into cool headed, I'm quitting the game. This is the end.
That's
And
the line.
finally, yeah, that's the one that broke the straw that broke the camel's back. Oh man, and here we go. Here's the last one. This is exciting because we don't get many of these This is the rounding off the final one. We have finally one of the newer generations. We have Denji from Chainsaw Man. He's going to be coming into the game as well. So, like I said, this is
Super cool choice, I think,
super
because he
cool
doesn't even have
choice.
an anime yet.
No, not even. So it just you're just like, okay, before the hype settles in, bring out Denji. Oh man, I love Chainsaw Man so much. I don't know what the hell they're gonna use. I don't know if anything they can use from Chainsaw Man is gonna be okay for the game.
Yeah, I don't really know how they're gonna like fit Chainsaw Man in an acceptable way.
No.
I mean, I guess they put it on the app so they can put it in the game, but
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they put it from the. No, don't forget, there's like a couple chapters of Chainsaw Man missing from the app because they're like, okay, this guy went some weird ass places. You're gonna have to go onto the website like the olden times if you want to check this
yeah,
shit
well, I
out.
mean, that's the lesbian orgy one didn't make it
Yeah,
in, but
exactly. You should
a
read
lot of them
Chainsaw.
did.
Yeah, they included the throw up. Apparently, the throw up in the person's
Yes,
mouth was okay, but not the
they
lesbian orgy.
included the vomiting into the mouth of someone that you're making out with scene. So,
Yeah.
you know.
I love anyone who's just listening to this going like, I don't know what Chainsaw. What?
Yeah, we're not selling it very well right now.
Let me tell you, man. Chainsaw Man is the world's greatest shit post made into a beautiful story. It is the greatest thing ever. Glad to see him in the game. I don't think he because we're so stacked with so many characters. I don't see him. I could see him being like someone who's either maybe a free unit if they want to kind of just say like, "Hey, here's Chainsaw Man," or they could just put him on banner. I could totally see him. It'd be funny if it was
Yeah, I
like
can see it going either way.
a banner of like, oh, the brand new Jump Stars featuring the main character from Jujutsu Kaisen, Gojo, and the main character from Chainsaw Man, Denji.
I like how Gojo is not the main character of Jujutsu Kaisen, but he might as well
He
be.
might as well be. He made it before Eddie Wood else. Maybe they're
Yeah,
saving
we
it.
knew that was gonna fucking happen though.
But still, that's a good ass list. Those are all the units coming this month. I'm a big fan of them all. I'm interested to see kind of where they're going. We don't know much detail information, not even their specific traits. If Denji makes it into Cool Head again, I'm quitting the game. I'm done.
Denji might be delinquent for you.
He might be delinquent. Actually, he is actually a poster boy for delinquent. I will gladly take him on there. And if Denji's making it, I hope the others make it soon too. So that's it for the new characters. We're gonna again. We were just looking at the new characters. No new meta discussion this time because we need to see how these characters come in and how they play. But we do have some questions, so let's go straight into them. First, we got from Potato Puncher. Thank you very much for sending in the question, Potato Puncher. And his question is, "Hello, Zen and Wokey. Big fan of the show. Always aboard for the Smorgasbord. I just want to know: is there any specific teams that you are tired of fighting in PvP? I'm personally kind of done with Coolhead, and let me tell
Cool
you,
Head a million times.
well, it's
A
the
million
answer.
times over, Cool Head.
It's just Coolhead. The
Scrap the
problem,
game. Scrap the game if it gets rid of Cool Head. I cannot punch another Light's shields.
the problem with specifically Coolhead, and we're gonna just call this. Thank you for the question. The answer is just Coolhead. The reason is that there's just so many units in Coolhead that you can't even like. It's like specifically coming up against an opponent that can change. It's like Taskmaster, but if Taskmaster played gotcha games, where Taskmaster constantly changes his fighting style depending on who he's fighting against. It is exactly this. It is a super
There's a bunch of
annoying.
different variants, and they're all obnoxious as hell. I mean, you've
Yeah,
got like the Itachi version. You've got just the super bulky version. You got like the one where they do Itachi and Sasuke together for like burn.
yeah,
It
yeah,
sucks. It sucks. I mean, I play blue, so usually I just win by outrunning them and killing them
yeah.
because all of my characters are fast as hell.
Yeah, they just
But
decided to
like,
give Blue pure speed.
yeah, it's just they're all fast as hell and they just break through everything. But if Hiei didn't exist with that ridiculous ult, I would never be able to win against
Yeah,
Coolhead.
yeah. And that's kind of why you've seen similar characters who just deal a bunch of like mini damage over to everyone. Or they try and delay them in some way, but sometimes it's just like not enough, man. It's a real bummer. But also I feel like there's enough specific teams of every other element. Like obviously there's still athletes is still going strong. Magicians have gotten a little bit strong. I personally, I love using them, but I can see why a lot of people don't like the Illusionist team. That's the team where it's run by Pegasus. It's an annoying team because when when the fight starts, until you actually take down Pegasus, you don't know who the other members of the team are. So I love using it, but I don't like fighting against it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cool idea, but it gets very aggravating after a while.
Yeah, especially with some characters, it's like, well, I think this is who it could be, and then it's like, oh no, I completely got duped, and now I'm just fucking dead. Thanks, Pegasus, asshole. Thank you again, Potato Puncher. Next question we come in, we got Raiders fan who sends in this question saying, "Hey guys, big fan of Smorgasbord. Just want to say, what characters are you looking forward to coming to the game?" All right, simple question. Thanks again, Raiders fan. I mean, this is your dude, right? Right, Zen. This is your guy. This is the guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of already in there. I obviously with Gojo, I'm pretty good to go for a while. The other Jujutsu Kaisen guys, I wouldn't mind getting my hands on either though. Like, Itadori, Yuta will probably not happen. But then again, I guess if they did Denji, they could do Yuta. So yeah, I'm gonna say Yuta.
Yeah, there'd be good choices. There's a bunch of people from Jujutsu I wouldn't mind showing up. My white whale, as always, is always going to be. I want them to add anyone from the past, anything past part 5 of JoJo. We have not gotten anyone from 6, 7, or 8. And I really, really, really hope it's not because we have to wait for the anime of Stone Ocean before we start getting other
Oh
characters.
God,
Because
nightmares.
I don't know how long we can last just like waiting. That sounds like an insane wait time. I've already waited what feels like, what has it got to be, at least what,
I
2
mean,
years? Too long.
Giorno came out before Ventuario.
He did, but I feel like that was before. I didn't actually did. Was Or Collection around when the JoJo blow up was starting, when the new anime was announced? It's been so
So
long I can't remember.
I think so. I guess I'm not 100% sure, but I think so.
Well, either way, I would love anyone from, like, at this point, literally anyone from above part 5 would be cool. I love the love, the like insane love that they're getting from part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But once you start adding dudes like fucking what is it? What the fuck is his name? Wang Chung, the weird zombie Chinese man from part
Yeah,
1.
well, yeah. That's is his name Wang Chun?
I
I
want to
think it
say it's got
might
to be
be
Wang Chun. It was back before JoJo stands were named after pop songs. They
Wang
just act
Chen.
Wang Chen. Okay, I want to call him Wang Chung because that is what his name is based off of. It was changed because copyright and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love them. Jolene specifically, I would love another person for heroin. I feel like we need a little bit more. It makes it sound like I want heroin as in the actual drug, but no, I just want more
Gotta
female
put an S
units.
on the end. You gotta put the S on the end.
Yeah, heroines. I need
Yeah.
another shot of that heroines. Perfect.
I need some more buffs to my heroines.
Exactly.
My plural. Just multiple heroines.
Thank you, Raiders fan, for the question. Next question we come in from Banger Man, who says, "Yo, what is up with the Orc Collection not adding anyone from new gen manga?"
You picked a bad week to ask that question, bro.
It's okay. So yeah, it's a very bad week for this question, but at the same time, it has been kind of strange that they have not really been adding anyone from any of the like more modern, like for us to be this long into the game, like we got, obviously we got Demon Slayer dudes, but Demon Slayer was kind of into it when we first got our first Demon Slayer unit, wasn't it? No, I think it was actually like 100 chapters
Well,
or
no,
something.
we got Tanjiro super early, like
Yeah,
early enough that I'm pretty sure I didn't even know what Demon Slayer was when I was like, "Who's this swordy boy?" And then it exploded, and we got like the entire fucking cast because
yeah,
you got to
yeah. That's,
capitalize on that shit.
of course.
But
Yeah,
it is
that's
weird, yeah, that it took them this long, I suppose.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy because I remember when they specifically debuted Tanjiro, I was like, dude, this animation is amazing. What the hell is Demon Slayer? And then now the answer is everyone knows what Demon Slayer is.
Yeah.
So obviously we got people from there, but the fact that we've been this far into the Chainsaw Man is at this point we're getting ready for part two and we're finally getting Denji. That seems kind of insane to me.
Yeah, well,
So
Denji feels early, but I mean, better early than late.
yeah, for sure. Some other ones, I guess maybe they're just actually waiting to see how many of them they plan to cancel before they add them to the game. Because that is definitely
Yeah, I guess that's true. Can't add any new gen manga because they might be gone in a month.
it's like, oh yeah, that would be what's gonna happen eventually, where someone's gonna debut and it's gonna be like, all right, their final chapter was in last week,
They're
this
gonna
week.
debut the exact same week that it gets canceled.
Exactly, and that's actually what they're gonna lead the tag canceled, and the actual legit form of canceled, not the fake one we make up.
Oh yeah, not the fake Republican canceled one, but the
Yeah,
the actual one.
it would be funny if we actually added a tag of like, oh yeah, Orochimaru leads canceled. I can't believe he did that to the Leaf, the Leaf Village.
Orochimaru is problematic. Canceled.
Actually, is he? Because I don't know how the fuck his kid was allowed to join the school of a place he fucking basically was a terrorist against.
Yeah, he's even got like a lab down in there, and he's like,
Yeah,
they just, like let him do science
I'm just gonna
more.
say. I'm just saying right now. Ever since Naruto became the Hokage, this country went to shit. The Leaf Village used to mean something, and now we have like literal terrorists walking the streets, having children
That's
doing whatever they
fine.
want.
I
It's
guess
fine.
Naruto didn't want a double standard about. I'm forgiving my best friend, the terrorist, so I guess I have to forgive every terrorist.
I hope he looks Sasuke in the eye and says, "I'm forgiving this terrorist because of you." He's like, "You're never gonna let this go, are you?" No, not once.
No, we have to bring every terrorist now.
Exactly. Thank you, Banger Man. I understand the frustration of kind of wanting the new gen, but I really think it's just that they want to wait out for the right moment, I guess. Make sure that they're at least 100 chapters in before they decide whether or not they're going to cancel them or not, and then add them to the game. Still waiting for more characters from We Can't Study. We only got the one, which is a shame. We need more. It's a shame.
Yeah, sometimes they seem really content to just drop like one character from a series, and they're like, that counts as representation.
Yeah. And
We
this
don't have to
actually
do any more.
this perfectly segues to our final question, which comes in from longtime ride or die friend Rick Fox, who asks once again, when are we getting Gear 2 Luffy?
That okay, he's actually going to be the one that leads the canceled category because he was canceled in the game.
That dude was in screenshots of how they promoted Orc Collection. I think
Yeah, like the release promotions of it, and
OCHD
they
has
just
said
never
like he has assets for him and they just never use them. I don't understand why they don't use Gear 2 Luffy. They use plenty of One Piece characters. It's not like One Piece isn't underrepresented. It's just a
no,
specifically It's just
no.
specifically just Gear 2 Luffy for whatever reason has never entered the game. Funny enough, it's the same in Bounty Rush, another gacha game featuring One Piece characters. They don't have a Gear 2 Luffy, and people constantly ask, yo, what the fuck? Where's Gear 2 Luffy? They have the character,
Yeah,
they have Rob Lucci, the weird tiger man he fights, but they won't add in the actual form everyone loves. I don't know. I don't know at this point what Gear 2 Luffy would even run, if I'm being honest. I guess One Piece. Yeah, he would be the one for One Piece. Maybe a rescuer style category of sorts. I mean, he could do a bunch. That's the thing is that most Luffy's I feel are either like Gear 4, which is the one big ass damage, or they do like the multi hit, like hit everyone at the same time. Which both ways of having your ult are extremely useful, but I don't know how what they would do with Gear 2. Maybe there'd be like a specific like self buff up, and
be like
then
a yeah, it could be like a party buff even, I guess. Because I mean, if it's a self buff, it wouldn't be that good,
it
but
would
it could
have
hit
to. He'd
everybody.
have to be insanely busted. He would have to be like increase your speed times two in order for a self buff to actually kind of fit everything. Like party buffs are super useful, obviously. Like giving your entire party like a one hit shield or something, or guts like All Might does. Um, but I think that's just the thing is that I don't think they know how to specifically balance a Gear 2 Luffy.
I mean, sometimes I wonder if they care about balance based on shit like light, but you know,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, They care enough about balance. They do still do the at this point, what is it, every 4 months or so, give character balances. They give to 6 characters that they feel are deserving. Anyone but Kuwabara gets a brand new kit and stuff like that. Um, so I feel like there's depth, but we've never really had a character be nerfed either. So, I mean, obviously, Light's still kicking. Light's still kicking it
Yeah,
somewhere.
if Light's still kicking, they're not nerfing anybody.
No, no, for sure. So yeah, once again, dude, we don't know how else to answer this. We keep sending in your question, but the answer will always be I don't know.
The answer will, at this point, it's got to be never. Like that's the answer. The answer is never.
We're never getting a Gear 2 Luffy. When the game shuts down, that's when their final unit will be Gear 2
Yeah, they're gonna
Luffy.
put it out like the day before, just as a gift to everybody.
Yeah, it will be like when fighting games introduce a character that completely breaks their game, and they're like, okay, so we're done here. Goodbye, everyone. That's what they're gonna do with Gear 2 Luffy. It won't even make sense. He'll just instantly enter the battle and deal like 15 damage to everyone just to say fuck you.
That would be pretty funny. I would be down for that.
Yeah, it'd be a good way to send off or collection. It would obviously